Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. My name is Bill Horan. I'm here with my co-host, Nassau Community College student Corey Kaufman. And today we're shining the spotlight on a charity that embraces the spirit of the holidays and children, and a local business that's helping them reach their goals.
Today we'll learn all about the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation, a not-for-profit public charity that serves to fund, raise funds for, and support the program which distributes toys to children whose parents cannot afford to buy them gifts for the holidays.
Today on the program, we're welcoming back to our show for a second visit Major Chuck Kilbride, a retired member of the United States Marines, to talk to us about this amazing charity. And joining him again is Lance Wolf, the Assistant General Manager and Brand Ambassador for Miller's Ale House of Levittown, who is here to tell us how Miller's Ale House and their two Long Island locations in Levittown and Deer Park will be working with Toys for Tots at a very unique event coming up. Major Kilbride and Lance Wolf, thanks so much for joining us here today on My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. So let's start off with a question. You've got to tell our audience. Not everybody knows what Toys for Tots is, even though it is popular, it's been heard of. So Major Kilbride, can you explain to us what it is, when it started, and how it works with children in the area?
Yeah, the program started in 1947 in California, shortly after World War II. There was a lot of orphans, left over from the war, and the Commandant of the Marine Corps said, hey, let's put a smile on a child's face. A new unwrapped toy is a symbol of hope. And Marines are your 911 emergency force around the world. When the Marines have landed, everything's well in hand. We happened to land on Miller Ale House about 8 years ago, and we met the general manager, Lance Wolf. And Lance Wolf, I believe there's 5. Is there 5 Miller Ale House on Long Island?
There are 3 on Long Island, 4 on Long Island and 1 in Queens.
So I was correct. There was 5 altogether, counting Queens, part of the island, I guess. But the bottom line is, Lance Wolf is our Santa Claus. He likes to go out there. He's a real do-gooder. He's a believer, and that's important. There's not too many people believe anything anymore in the United States, And Lance is always out there. I think last 2 years, Lance did everything he could to help Luis Mendez, a little boy, a Nassau County Corrections officer's son, who had brain cancer and, succumbed to it last year. But for whatever time, how old was he?
5.
He was 5 years old. For much of his time, Lance was there day and night doing everything he could to help the family, do whatever he could to raise money to make they got football tickets to bring the family together. Whatever he could do, he did to make Luis Mendez time on earth, as pleasant as possible given the situation. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't just him. There's little Tommy Honorado, who's one of our junior vice chairmen. The boy has microvillus inclusion, which means he can't eat food. He's 6 years old, and he has to get a shot through a port, right? And we also have another junior vice chairman, a guy by the name of Darryl Krantz. Now, he's not sick, but he happens to be one of the junior champion NASCAR drivers in America. And he's from Suffolk County. And just a wonderful little boy. We just had a kickoff party with at the Coral House with Mr. Yamali over there. Donates the whole event for 450 people, no charge. All right?
A lot of good people around.
Yeah, there are, but, and sometimes, with this little boy, Darryl Krantz came in and he marched up. We had Hempstead and Freeport Elementary School 4th, 5th grade classes, and he marched up and says, hi, my name is Darryl Krantz. He's 10 years old. He says, hey, I have pictures, and if you like to get online, and if we do it in an orderly process, I'll give you an autograph. I couldn't believe it, and the kids were like, the kids said, could we have him visit Hempstead School? We want to talk to him. Because the kids really liked his whole demeanor, and that's important. And so him and his father's a big warehouse man on Long Island, and they raise a lot of toys for Tots program. I don't want to do all the talking because Lance is here, and he's dying to tell you about some special meal that they have at the Miller Ale House.
We're going to let Corey get to the next question, and maybe Lance will answer that while he's laughing.
So tell us a little bit, how does the program work? How do the toys get from like the drop-off points into the hands of children?
So, for us,
what is for us?
on Long Island, okay, what we do is the Marines give us Toys for Tots boxes. We put them out in various locations that we get people to allow us to put them in, whether it's Miller's Ale House, Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Elevens, any local business that would hold the boxes. Put up posters for them, and then you go online to, I believe it's the United States Marine Corps' website, and you can actually put your business in there and get approved to be a drop-off, which we do at Miller's Ale House. You can hold events such as the one that we're going to be holding on the 16th of November with Major Kilbride and the United States Marine Corps. It'll be a run from the Deer Park location in Suffolk County out to the Levittown location with a police escort from our finest Nassau County officers with the help of Commissioner Ryder. And then as far as the toys go, once they fill up, we call the local Marines in Garden City, and they'll come and pick up all the toys from wherever they are, whether it's Nassau County, Suffolk County. We go as far as Rockland County, I believe.
That's right.
So the Marines are out there every day, 7 days a week, picking up the toys as it gets close to the holidays. And it's just a great event. I mean, we collect in the Levittown location where we do our event coming up. We'll collect by the time we start the event till Christmas close to 8,000 toys.
Wow!
But then the Marines also have another huge event in Roslyn at a car dealership. Correct?
No, the other dealers. The other program that you're talking about is Martino Auto Concepts. They come out of Glen Cove. A guy named Joe Lapdula and his partner John Holzer, and we teamed up with RXR, Scott Reckler, and I guess right across the street, RXR. We're gonna have a big event December 1st, and we'll have 3,000 exotic vehicles will be there.
Wow!
Yeah, there'll be Maseratis and Audis and really huge cars. They have two cars that are worth over $4 million a piece.
That's the kind Corey drives. Yeah, he buys them around his college here.
But we collect, last year, 55,000 toys in one day.
I mean, I'm just picturing how nice it is if someone collected 5 toys to put a smile on 5 kids' face, and 55,000
one day.
Unbelievable.
One day. These guys
that's a lot of work.
These guys are really generous. But believe it or not, because of Lance Wolf, he's a humble guy, and he is humble too. We have over 105 Miller Ale houses on the East Coast collect toys because of him. He did the prototype, and the CEO Ray Holden, who comes from Long Island, went to Bethpage High School, happens to be the CEO. He really liked the idea, and Lance represents Miller Ale House well. It's not just a restaurant; it's like all about family.
He does, and I know from past interactions and past shows, he's a person who's there probably 18 hours a day now, and now that you have Toys for Tots, it's probably going to add another 2, so he probably sleeps in the kitchen someplace, but we don't know where, and I guess that's okay.
Let's not give him any big credit until after Christmas, okay?
Whatever you say, I always listen to the Marines.
Well, you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about Toys for Tots with Major Chuck Kilbride, a retired member of the United States Marine, and Lance Wolf, the Assistant General Manager and Brand Ambassador for Miller's Ale House of Levittown.
Gentlemen, I wanted to ask you, what type of toys are you specifically looking for? And I'm sure there's some that you're not looking for that could perhaps be either dangerous or harmful. Could you tell us about that?
New unwrapped toys. That's it.
Right to the point.
That's it. New unwrapped toys. Sometimes you'll see people come and they want to clean out their garage and they'll go to the post office and dump a lot of old, broken toys. That's not what we're looking for. New unwrapped toys.
Mm-hmm. And any special age groups that they should be aimed at?
They go up to like 10, 11 years old, I believe. And sometimes we get toys for older kids. Generally, we don't, but if we do, then we'll reach out to Catholic Charities or go to our buddy Rabbi Pearl. Right?
Oh, we go here at Nassau.
We go to his Chabad on Willis Avenue, and just a wonderful, wonderful man.
He is, and
I introduced him one time to do the invocation. I said, I want to introduce you to my dear friend and my cousin, Rabbi Pearl.
Wow!
And then when we got to his Chabad to drop off the toys, he said, Major, do you know how many people called because you, an Irish Roman Catholic, proclaimed to one and all that a Jew was your cousin? And I said, Rabbi, wasn't Jesus a Jew? I guess that makes us cousins. And he laughed. He goes, you should be the rabbi and I should be the major.
You definitely have the A-team on this Toys for Tots stuff. You can't get any better than Rabbi Pearl.
Rabbi Pearl, he does the Jewish talk here on 90.3.
He's great.
So I want to know, how often do you hold toy drives? You were telling us about $400,000 Maseratis, and what do you do to kind of pull people in to get them to donate toys?
Well, you find guys like Lance Wolf and Joe Lapadula. These guys are real believers in giving back to the community. And there's a special individual out there that always is looking to help the other guy instead of taking care of themselves. They don't have a myopic view. And I think, was it last year or last year? No, I think it was last year or the year before. We went to Garden City. A teacher told us to go to 3 homes where the mother had died previous 30 days. Tough visit.
Yeah.
We go there with our real Santa Claus, okay? And we walk in, and the father is like crying. He goes, I can't believe this. You've given me hope, because I didn't think I'd ever see my children smile again. And the kids were laughing, and they were so happy that Santa Claus was there. And his little boy had Down syndrome. He goes, you can take the toys back. I'll write you guys a check. And we said, they believe in the toys. We went to the other 2 houses. It was the same thing. And, I mean, those, I think Lance will tell you, those are the trips that make it all worth it.
No, he's nodding his head, and I can see that. And I know you guys kid back and forth, but it was really just the smile on one kid's face and the happiness you give. Yeah. And you use that magic word, hope. And if you can give people some hope, you're better than any doctor in the world.
I've been all over. I've been to 100 countries, and I can tell you right now, that is one of the best events that we do. We went to a house in Shirley last year. House burned down. I went to Baseline Health. These guys help us out with Toys for Tots. Dan Melody and Rich Bilello. Got a couple hundred toys, went to the kid's house. We went to Mr. Margulies, the CEO of Brookhaven Hospital. That's where the family ended up with smoke inhalation. They rented the hospital rented a hotel room for like a couple of weeks for these people. Bought them clothes, to get through the holidays. And when we showed up with Santa Claus, the mother said, with all this tragedy and all 8 children unharmed, some smoke inhalation, 4-year-old twins jumped off the roof of a house and were caught by their 8 and 6-year-old brothers.
Oh, my God.
That's right. And they said they were worried that Santa Claus wouldn't know where they were located because the house burned down. And when we showed up, I have to tell you, I mean, that was unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, the people, the kids, the mother, it was just incredible. Yeah. I mean, it's like we really are doing something important.
Yeah. You really, Bill, you were right. They really do have the A-team. They have Rabbi Pearl and Santa Claus.
That's right. You don't get any better than that.
Right.
Now, guys, can you tell us, before we go into the break, if someone's listening, give us the date, the time, the event. If someone wants to take part, how do they do it?
November 16th, Deer Park Ale House.
That's a Saturday, you said?
Saturday morning, 8:30 kickoff time. You sign up over there, bring your toys, unwrap toys, or you can donate if you like. Police escort from the Deer Park location to Levittown Miller's Ale House at 3046 Hempstead Turnpike, where the Major and the United States Marine Corps will be there. Be a nice buffet put out, and we'll collect 3,000-4,000 toys that day, which will obviously put a lot of smiles on children's faces. And it should be a great day. So the more people that come, the more people that attend, better day we'll have. You don't have to ride a motorcycle. You can walk in. You can drive your car. You know, you
and
can
lots
take
of good
your
food if
scooter.
you bring that toy, right?
Come for the
You
buffet.
bring the toy, you get food.
You get food and a buffet,
Exactly.
and I
And a
love the
buffet.
Miller's food. So
Yeah, they've
I'll
been
endorse
feeding
it.
us. They've been feeding us for the past couple months. You know, they catered our last big meeting.
We're going to take a quick break. My name is Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman, and today we're talking about Toys for Tots with Major Chuck Kilbride, a retired member of the United States Marines, and Lance Wolf, the Assistant General Manager and Brand Ambassador for Miller's Ale House of Levertown. You're listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
We are the boy band. Your tween Major C. We are the boy band. It's Painful Concert number 3. We are the boy band. We're 5 and 19. We are the boy band. Always singing on key.
You love your kids enough to take them to see their favorite band. Love them enough to make sure they're buckled up in the back seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And now we return to My Hometown.
Thanks for being with us today here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman, and today we're talking about Toys for Tots with Major Chuck Kilbride, a retired member of the United States Marines, and Lance Wolf, the Assistant General Manager and Brand Ambassador for Miller's Ale House of Levittown. Corey?
So, Toys for Tots it's a nationwide organization, right? You have people in all 50 states, right?
Absolutely.
So if someone's listening and they want to help, but they might not know like where a drop off is, or they might not be able to make it to like a drive, how can they get involved? How can they help?
Well, the best way to do it, I would say, is you could call Gunnery Sergeant Sardine. We call him the Big Fish, and his number is 516-228-5606. Or you could call Lance Wolf at Miller Ale House, because he's our Toys for Tots ambassador on Long Island. He's the guy that makes it happen. And what's your number, Lance Wolf?
Miller's Ale House, 516-520-7000.
One more time.
516-520-7000.
And I'm sure it can't be that hard to find like an ambassador in your county, right?
No, not at all. Or you could call me, Major Chuck Kilbride, 516-902-0934. I get a couple hundred calls a day on my cell phone. I don't mind. You know, we just signed up a lady by the name of Lori Mayer. She owns 5 Dairy Queens on Long Island. The location, Massapequa and Levittown, and the other 2 escape me. But if you call Dairy Queen in Levittown, ask for Lori Mayer. She'll tell you. A wonderful lady. And I might add, we're going to do a toy drive especially for her, because her little boy, 3.5 years old, just came down with leukemia. And the Marines have landed. We heard about it. We're going to help her.
You've got all my favorite groups on Long Island: Miller's, Lori from
Dairy Queen,
and Rabbi Pearl. I mean, the more you mention it, the more these are my favorites.
We have 465 7-Elevens collect toys for us.
All right,
Oh,
now
wow.
you've completed that.
We just picked up Harry Singh with Bowler Markets. Over 300 plus Bowler Markets are collecting
the gas
toys for us.
stations, yeah, we love those.
Right. And then we have a few more off the top of my head. In Levittown, we have... not Levittown. Applebee's is a big one.
Yes, they're very good.
Applebee's they write big checks to Toys
All
for
right.
Tots.
You like the people write
All the
big checks.
Applebee's on Long Island collect toys for us.
Now, Major, what about somebody, if someone's listening, they're saying, gee, I wonder if they know about my neighbor, little Eddie, or his son so-and-so. In other words, someone who might be needy and could use some help there.
Believe it or not, I don't have to solicit that. They find their way to us,
Can they just come and tell you, though? I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
maybe some people are kind
Tell
of reticent.
Lance Wolf from Miller Ale House. He is our... People gravitate to Lance.
They do.
He
Yeah.
really does. I don't want to give him a big head, not till after Christmas is over and Hanukkah's over and Kwanzaa's over. Then we could... Because he gets such a big head, and it's hard to put his Christmas,
hat on? Okay.
his Christmas suit on, and Santa's beard and all that.
But that's great to know. So, I mean, they're not going to be kind of pushed around. You welcome them calling because that's what you do.
Absolutely.
So that's great. I appreciate it.
We do an awful lot with Kevon Abrams, Nassau County legislator, and he helps us out a lot with Rich Nicolello, a Nassau County legislator. Laura Curran, the county executive of Nassau, is a co-chairman, along with Patrick Ryder. Jim McDermott from Nassau County Police. You could donate a new unwrapped toy at any Nassau County building or police precinct. And Commissioner Patrick Ryder is right there with us all the time. John Wighouse, the president of the Detectives Association, DAI, just yesterday we were taking pictures with the legislators. Armand D'Amato is the co-chairman of Toys for Tots. D'Amato is a big name on Long Island, and they're most generous people. You know, New York is a generous, caring, sharing people, right? Sometimes a little gruff, sometimes a little hard.
That's okay. We'll still take it for the kids,
That's right. If we could put a smile on a child's face, Lance Wolf, that's what makes him tick, you know? And while we're here at Nassau Community College, I haven't heard one person stand up, pony up, and volunteer to start a toy drive here at Nassau Community College and get those students interested in giving back to the community.
The boss says we're going to say we can do it right now, so we're going to start things here at the radio station. How's that?
Nice.
Yeah. Too easy.
It's a tough recruiting here. I'm not going to yell at the Marines and a big guy like Lance. If you guys say you want something, we're doing it for you.
We need it.
Listen, they got these guys, you know, they're going to just strong arm you into doing it, but, you know, it's for the kids, so.
Great. Did you have a question?
Yeah, so you were talking about before, you know, you got a lot of your donations during the Christmas time, during the holiday seasons coming up, but people don't realize that you're doing this all year round, right? There's always a kid in need who's going through, a family who's going through something, and they can always use the help, right? You know, you're always taking donations.
We collect a lot of money, toys, and effort from Local 3, Local 1, Local 25 Electrical Union, operating engineers, 138, 638, the labor unions, painting union, labor union.
Good people all over the place.
Yeah. Hospital workers, George Tunis, chairman of Nassau University Medical Center, is a co-chairman. Very, very generous man. Very generous man. At Nassau University Medical Center, over at Winthrop Hospital, John Collins. I mean, I could go through all the hospitals. They're all right there taking care of the kids day in and day out. The nurses are so very, very helpful. You know, it takes a special person like Lance. But Lance should have been a nurse, a male nurse, you know. But, you know, he went into the food industry.
Well, you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about Toys for Tots with Major Chuck Kilbride, a retired member of the United States Marine, and Lance Wolf, the Assistant General Manager and Brand Ambassador for Miller's Ale House of Levittown.
Gentlemen, you've been telling us, of course, about Toys for Tots and what you do, which is amazing. And I just want to say to our audience, sometimes we all want to do something. We don't feel we have as much time. Well, you guys are donating the big amounts of time. Mm-hmm. But all you're asking for is someone to go out to the local toy store. And if not, would you accept a cash donation? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So even if you can't get to the store, or you're so busy, or you just, have that family life where you can't get away, you can go by and drop off a check, or you can drop off cash to the gentleman and be part of this. You're helping some kid. You don't know where or when, but that smile on their face and letting them know there's hope when things might not look good either for their family or illness, etc. I know you guys work with other charities too, and that you do events. Lance, can you tell us anything about some of the others?
Yeah, I mean, we get involved with as many charities on Long Island as we can. We're involved with the Elijah School for Autism. We also sponsor some of the local schools for autism in Levittown. MacArthur High School, they have an autistic program where their children come into our restaurant and they'll work for about an hour. Hempstead High School, we have an autistic program working with them. We just did the night walk at East Meadow Eisenhower Park. There was over 6,000 people walking. We fed about 500 of them in a VIP tent that were running the event. Then obviously the big Toys for Tots event coming up. We're also getting involved in, we do polar plunges, we do cancer charities.
Sometimes people don't realize what our local business is, in your case, Miller's Ale House, a restaurant, but up and down the East Coast, how much they really do for the local communities, and that's greatly appreciated.
Miller Ale House, through 100 locations right now, they're all involved. It's all about the community. It's all about giving back. It's all about what we can do to help other people, or to help a program, whether it's a school or somebody with cancer like little Louis Mendez, who was very close to us. It was a co-chairman as well for us. And then we like to give back. So that's really what it is. Miller's Ale House believes in that. And we try to always run different events and charities that we can help locations around.
And we want to thank you, too, just to mention that you help support us here at WHPC with food when we have our meetings, etc. You're always out there for us. And I want to say to our audience, someone listening to this, if you want to take part and even multiply what you can do, nothing's stopping you from getting 10 or 12 friends together and going over there on November 16th, right, a Saturday.
Yep.
You go over, bring that gift, you got a nice buffet lunch, you got a great time together, and you're doing a good deed. What could be better? Plus, there's like 9,000 televisions around the room. So any game, any MMA fight, any basketball, football, hockey that's on, you're going to be watching it, and you get to meet some really nice people.
Yeah, and how can people donate their time for Toys for Tots? Do you accept volunteers?
We work with volunteers, but generally speaking, we work with Nassau County Police, Jim McDermott, John Wighouse Detectives Association, Kevin Black, Superior Officers Association, and Brian Sullivan from the Nassau Correction Officers. But I do want to mention Lance's boss, Drew Reynolds, in charge of all 5 Miller Ale House on Long Island, and his current boss that he is under is Christopher Nevins. Lance seems to forget these people, and I always remember them. And I just want to say that they also they do a big party for the PBA for the fallen police officers and their families, and Lance sits in the water bucket or whatever,
and they can dunk him for that. We'll come down there. We'll be there. Even Rabbi Pearl will get him doing it.
Easy, right?
Gentlemen, again, I want to mention to our audience, in case they don't know, I don't know how you missed Miller's Ale House. It's so big. But if you're around Levittown, it's at 3046 Hempstead Turnpike in Levittown. You'll have a lot of fun. You'll be going back there a lot, and you'll be doing a lot of good for people. I'd like to thank our guest today, Major Chuck Kilbride from the United States Marines, and Lance Wolf, the Assistant General Manager and Brand Ambassador for Miller's Ale House of Levittown. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us today.
Ooh, thank you.
I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman. Thanks for listening to this week's edition of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.